Hi guys, this is Hecatehoney here. I'm creating a new series of things I do as a witch. And tonight I really want to talk about creating sacred space. It's one of the, I would say, quintessential tools I use to get myself in the framework for creation, for manipulating energy, for any type of ritual. And it's just like a really important part of like the whole, start of your practice. I've read a lot of books and worked with several people. And there's very traditional ways to create sacred space that generally have to work with visualization, that have to do with chanting, movement, calling very specific elements, deities. And you can find what works best for you. Um, there's the very traditional way, which, if you're practicing very traditional, say, witchcraft or Wiccan rituals, they have you have certain tools like an athame, which is a ritual knife. They have you have like the elements, usually salt and water. There's the pentacle, which is, the five-pointed star, which is earth, air, fire, water, and spirit. And there's also chanting and calling of the corners, which generally represent north, south, east, and west. And working with the deities to call in for protection. And so that usually looks like one, cleansing your space. And you can cleanse your space energetically using salt, spreading salt around your space, physically cleaning your space, like actual cleaning, like dusting, vacuuming, which also kind of clears any stagnant energy. And also like using a broom, like even symbolically, just to move energy around. So that's how you can traditionally start, is the cleansing, and then moving into the mindset. You also want to cleanse yourself. So like the showering, even rubbing your body with salt, or smudging, using sage, or, using Palo Santo, anything to remove negative energy. Um, and then when you go into, say, like the ritual setup, you have your water, you have your salt, you have, sometimes they use bells, incense to stand for air, and fire, like the lighted candle. And as you move through the four corners of the north, south, east, and west, each of those elements represents, each of those corners represents an element. So, like, east is air, north is earth, south is fire, and west is water. And as you call upon that corner, that citadel, that direction, you touch your athame or even your wand to that element, and walk around, creating a whole circle with each element, and calling that corner and invoking your deity. I have several deities I work with, and as you're like walking through that center, you're creating this circle, this sphere of protected space, protected energy, and like it's a visualization and it's a manipulation of energy, because as you visualize it, you are manifesting it. So you call those corners, you call those deities. In very traditional practices, you use the pentacle, creating the star with your athame or with your wand. And I can go into details about that, which I'll probably do a later video about it. But what has worked for me over the years, for any lazy witches, which I just do what feels right to me now. My space is already kind of cleansed energetically from all the ritual work I've done, or spell work. And then I clean, often and intermittently, to cleanse any stagnant energy. But what I do is I call on my deities, my divinities, And then I imagine like a bubble around myself. And as I'm calling in my deities, I ask them to protect this circle, this sphere, from any harmful or destructive entities, energies, beings, persons, accidents, anything that you're trying to protect yourself from. And then I ask them to allow in only, like peace, love, trust, harmony, balance, etc. And as I'm doing this, I'm imagining this sphere being charged with like light and energy and protection, and I can feel it. And so I do it like it's so easy. I mean, as I take showers, I do it every, I do it every day. And when I'm feeling scared or when I'm about to do some ritual work, I do that and I invoke my deities and create this sacred circle around myself and around like any pets, my home. I'll do a later video on like wards and protections I've put around my home and like, things that I find sacred and important to me. And, those are in next topics to cover. But just quickly, like, let's just go through this. I want you to imagine like a sphere of light around your body, around yourself. Maybe lay down or sit down, get in a comfortable position, and try to imagine a circle around you. And it could be white light, it could be gold light, whatever color you feel is important to you or that's protective to you. And then think about what deities, or if it's God for you, or if it's a specific goddess, or, I call in the elements, I call in the directions, I call in my ancestors, and invoke those deities and ask them for their protection and their help in protecting this sacred circle. Um, excuse me. And imagine like this sacred circle, this sphere being emboldened with that power. And I also ask my deities for the power of that protection and for their power to make me strong and courageous, as I walk through my daily life. And when you create this is like an ongoing circle of magic, of protection. And in the previous ritual, say sacred space I was discussing, you want to close that circle after the ritual, and that's more traditional, that's more like a formal sacred space. And with mine, I just carry it with me everywhere I go, and then I continually um, recreate it and continue to empower it and ask for the blessings and the power from my deities. But that more traditional sacred circle, you want to close it by doing the opposite of what you did. So if you went in a clockwise fashion, you'd start with, say, like the north, because you end with the north, the earth, and then you thank your deities for attending this ceremony, this ritual, whatever you did. And then go on to, is it west? Go on to west and thank, fire, thank your divinities, and do the pentacle again, and then so on and so forth until you've closed the circle and it's no longer. So there's very formalized ways to create sacred space, and then there's also just like ongoing, on the fly ways to create sacred space like I do. So yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. And I hope this has helped you today, and continue to create sacred spaces for yourself wherever you go. Love you.